Oh, we're about to roast Gwen Berry today. I am so sick of this damn woman. Gwen Berry is well on her way to making it to the top of my list of the most ignorant wokers in America. I never thought someone would take this title away from Jamel Hill. But Gwen Berry is trying her best. She's making a valiant effort. One thing I can't stand is ignorance. It's one thing to be ignorant, know you're stupid, and you try to learn. Maybe you say something dumb, you get called out for it, and you make a change. You learn something, you get knowledge. It's another thing when you are completely ignorant, you're stupid, and you know you're dumb, you know you're wrong, but you continue to embarrass yourself and your country on a global stage. Gwen Berry gave an interview to Time magazine that aired on Friday. I'm confused as to why she was being interviewed in the first place. She has nothing to say. All she does is repeat the same myths, the same lies over and over. Throughout this entire interview, damn near everything Gwen Berry said was wrong. Not wrong in the sense that I disagree with her and it's my opinion that she's wrong. I'm talking about wrong in the sense that she is factually wrong. There seems to be a lot of confusion going around between what is a right and what is a privilege. We've explained this before here on the channel, but we're going to go ahead and do it again. This concept is something they teach in the first grade. Maybe Gwen Berry didn't make it that far in her education. In America, a right is something that cannot be taken away from you by the government, or anyone else for that matter. For example, you have the right to pursue your own happiness. You have the right to life. You have the right to remain silent if you're dealing with the police. Those are rights. A privilege is completely different. Privileges can be taken away. For example, having health insurance is a privilege. No matter how many times the wokers tell you that it's your right to have health insurance, it's not. Health insurance is a privilege you obtain by working and paying for it. It's not given to you. Going to college, privilege. It's not a right. Getting a job is a privilege. It is not your right to have a job. No one is required to just give you a job. If you dropped out of high school in the 7th grade, chances are you're never going to have the privilege of getting a decent paying job. It's also a privilege to represent America in the Olympics. This is a concept Gwen Berry just can't seem to understand. Let me show you what I mean. Here is an excerpt from her interview with Time magazine. She was asked about the criticism and the backlash that she's received for her continued ignorance on a global stage. Here's what she said in response, quote, "First and foremost, my response to the criticism is I earned my right on that podium. I earned my right on the team. I'm not saying I'm not proud to represent America. If anything, I am being extremely American by stating my rights. By exercising my constitutional right to say, I believe in freedom and justice for us all. And if I don't see it, I have a right to peacefully protest until I see what I know America is capable of. I am protesting for America to be good for everybody, and just not for the elite or the white supreme," end quote. Where do we even begin? First of all, Gwen Berry keeps saying she doesn't see America as being equal for everyone. But have you ever noticed she never gives examples of this? She never gives examples as to what the hell she's talking about. This is where the media should be doing their job and asking her about it. Follow-up questions. Of course, they don't do that. The woke media is on her side. They're not going to trip her up and ask her to explain herself because they know she can't. Second, Gwen Berry does not have the right to use the platform of the Olympics to promote her own personal political agenda. What do you think would happen if one of the members on Gwen Berry's team was standing next to her on that platform, on that podium, and they were wearing a Donald Trump t-shirt? Gwen Berry would have a conniption fit. She is systemically racist, white privilege. You're only allowed to protest at the Olympics if you're promoting the woke agenda. Otherwise, keep your mouth shut. Gwen Berry is not being American by disrespecting the national anthem and the people who died for it so she can have the freedom she takes advantage of every day. She's being the opposite of being an American. This woman is a disgrace. If she were representing a country like Iran in the Olympics and Gwen Berry disrespected the Iranian national anthem on a global stage, you would never see or hear from her again. You would have a better chance at finding Jimmy Hoffa. The Iranians, they don't play about stuff like that. The North Koreans, they don't play about stuff like that. But it gets better. Gwen Berry starts talking about the mistreatment of black people in America. Once again, she doesn't give any examples of the supposed mistreatment. She's just repeating talking points that she was given. Quote, I just don't respect something that doesn't stand for all people, especially minorities in America. I feel like we know the story. Blacks get the worst treatment here. We are not treated as human beings. Our lives are not regarded. They're not precious. And I feel like in order for me to respect a song that sings about liberty and justice for us all, I have to actually see that and experience it, end quote. I'm confused. Gwen Berry says black people receive the worst treatment of any race in America. Systemic racism. The same country where it has never been easier for a black person to go to college. 88% of undergraduate African American college students are receiving grants. Basically, partially or completely free education. When it comes to Pell Grants, black students are given more money than any other race. Maybe Gwen Berry's talking about police brutality. I'm just speculating here because she doesn't exactly tell us what the hell she's talking about. Police brutality is all we heard about last summer, so let's look at the numbers. There are approximately 47 million black people in America. So far in 2021, 74 have been shot and killed by the police. So this year, 0.0000015% of the black population has been killed at the hands of the police. There have been more black people killed by other black people in the city of Chicago this year than have been killed nationwide by the police. More black people get shot in a weekend in Chicago than have been killed all year by the police. Now, how come Gwen Berry isn't talking about that? How come she's not outraged at the violence happening in Chicago? Why is she not attacking Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, who's allowing this to happen? If Gwen Berry is truly taking a stand for better treatment of black people in America, the city of Chicago sure as hell seems to me to be a great place to start. Why is she not talking about that? It doesn't fit the agenda. If these people really cared about helping black people, you know what they would be talking about? You know what cause would be at the top of their priority list? White people are not the biggest threat to black people in America. The system is not the biggest threat. The police are not the biggest threat. You want to know what the real problem is? 65 to 70% of young black kids are raised in a home without their father. Simple as that. By far, the highest percentage of any race in America. That's triple the number of white kids, quadruple the number of Asian kids. And you know what? You know which two races have the best chance of becoming millionaires in this country? Whites and Asians. I wonder why. Even with that being the case, there are more black millionaires in America than any other country in the world. If I had to bet, I bet all of those black millionaires had a couple of things in common. One, they were probably raised in a two-parent home. And two, I bet you every one of them take personal accountability for their actions. They don't blame the system. They don't blame the evil white man. They don't blame the police, the politicians. They went out and made something of themselves no matter what the circumstances were. I disagree with Gwen Berry and her fellow wokers. You guys know that. The biggest threat in America is not racism. It's people not wanting to take responsibility for themselves. And that is not just black people. That is all people. All people. There is a lot of people that don't want to take personal responsibility for themselves and their situation. It's people wanting a handout. The vast majority of these people who are miserable in their lives, unsuccessful, have no one to blame but themselves. They're their own worst enemy. Gwen Berry is a disgrace. She should not be given the privilege of representing America in the Olympics, but she will. She will, because the Olympic Committee is full of nothing but cowards who are too afraid to take a stand and kick her off the team. Oh, but Sha'Carri Richardson, they'll kick her off the team for smoking a little bit of weed. Can't have that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You can denigrate your country. You can embarrass yourself and America. And you can remain on Team USA. Smoke a little bit of weed, they kick your ass off the team. Anyway, what do you guys think of Gwen Berry's latest rant? What do you think of her still being allowed to represent us here in America in the Olympics? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.